The temperature is falling. The temperature of the light around us, I mean. Hi there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English, where you get to upgrade your English with stories about current events and trending topics. Our story today is about light. I bet you've noticed that a lot of LED lights are much cooler than older incandescent lights were. Of course, LED lights give off less actual warmth, but warm and cool mean more than what you feel on your skin. Today, we'll be talking about how the temperature of the light around us is changing. This is episode 831 on Monday, January 19th, 2026. You can find the full story at plainenglish.com/831. Before we start today's story, I'd just like to remind you that the podcast is just one part of how we can help you upgrade your English skills. At plainenglish.com, you can make faster progress with active learning strategies. You can take quizzes, do activities, listen to the fast version of the audio, watch video workshops, practice what you learn, and even join a live call with JR and me. It's all about helping you build your skills to become a better, more confident English speaker. Sound good? Go to plainenglish.com to start your free 14-day trial today. Now, let's jump into today's story. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," but he didn't specify the temperature of that light. Wait, the temperature? It's true. Light has a temperature, and the temperature of the light around us is changing. When I say temperature, I don't mean the warmth you feel standing in the sunlight or the heat radiating from an old-fashioned incandescent light bulb. The temperature of light is not about heat, it's about color, whether it looks warm and yellow or cold and blue-white. The color temperature of light is measured in Kelvin. The higher the number, the cooler and bluer the light looks. A typical incandescent light bulb appears warm. That's just 2,700 Kelvin. But the bright overhead lights in a store like Walmart look sharper and cooler. They're around 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin. Today, we can choose the temperature of our lights, but this is a relatively modern luxury. For thousands of years, humans made light by doing one thing: making heat. Fire, candles, oil lamps, and later, incandescent bulbs all heat something until it glows. That glow is naturally yellow, and it also produces real heat. That's why we describe this kind of lighting as warm, not because the bulb is literally warm, although it often is, but because the light itself has the color of fire, soft, golden, and yellow. Around the 1950s and 1960s, fluorescent lighting started showing up in offices, schools, hospitals, and warehouses. It was cheaper to run, and it lasted longer. But the light looked different. Compared to incandescent bulbs, fluorescents often seemed whiter, sometimes slightly blue, and they made the colors look flatter and less natural. And that's why we call that kind of light cool. It has a blue-white tint the kind of light we associate with bright daylight, snowfall, and ice. Then, in the 2000s and 2010s, LEDs became the standard. LED stands for light emitting diode. It's made from a tiny electric circuit. They are more efficient than fluorescents. They last longer, they are cheap to mass produce, and they can be installed in more places. But a lot of the early LED lighting was similar to fluorescent lighting. Spaces illuminated with LED were whiter, brighter, and, to use our temperature word, cooler. Today, the shift to cooler, bluer light is all around us. Let's start with an example from Chicago, where I'm from. For decades, our street lamps were high-pressure sodium lights. They gave off a soft, warm glow. It was almost orange. Chicago streets had this unmistakable warmth at night, even when the temperature outside was cold. It felt nostalgic. You could almost imagine what the city might have looked like back in the days of gas-burning lamps. The city replaced those warm orange lights with cool white LEDs. These LEDs are better in a lot of ways. They use less electricity, and they don't have to be replaced as often. But the streets have lost their pleasant orange glow. Walking the streets at night can now feel like walking the aisles of a Costco. A similar thing is happening with car headlights. Older halogen headlights were usually around 3,000 Kelvin, warm-looking and slightly yellow. But many new cars come with LED headlights that are 5,000 to 6,500 Kelvin. They're brighter, whiter, and noticeably colder. You can also see this shift to cooler light indoors. Apartment landlords, hotel owners, interior designers, and home builders increasingly install cost-efficient LED lights in hallways, under the cabinets in kitchens, and in recessed ceiling lights. A lot of floor lamps and table lamps now come with built-in LEDs. They're cheaper to run, they last much longer, and they're more flexible. Designers can build LEDs into strips, panels, and rings. They can run them around the edges of mirrors or tuck them underneath cabinets and shelves. More often than not, these LEDs produce a much cooler looking light. Is this good or bad? In one sense, it's down to personal taste. We tend to associate cooler light with modernity, cleanliness, and productivity. And we associate warmer light with safety and comfort. So if you want a crisper, modern vibe, you're probably happy with the way the world looks these days. It's not only a question of taste, however. There is some evidence that cooler light can affect our bodies, especially at night. Blue light sends a powerful daytime signal to the brain. That can be good in an office setting or in the morning. But this cool blue light can suppress melatonin, the hormone that helps you feel sleepy. That can interrupt your sleep at night. It can also shift your circadian rhythm later. Your phone gives you the option to reduce blue light, but I bet your kitchen lights don't. LED lights are here to stay, at least for the foreseeable future. So does that mean we just have to get used to this blue heavy light and live with the side effects? Not necessarily. Early versions of LED lights were almost all cool. But LED technology has come a long way since then. Now, you can buy bulbs of different temperature settings. Other LED lights can be adjusted to produce the temperature a user wants. Still, cool white light has become the default, often without much thought about how it feels, especially at night. That's why many people associate LEDs with cool light, not because that's a feature of LEDs, but because that's the overwhelming design choice in the spaces where we encounter LEDs. So if you're going to buy an LED light bulb, a lamp, or if you're going to get new lighting installed in your house, think about the temperature. If you want a warmer environment, go for a lower Kelvin light bulb. If you want a more daytime look, choose something higher on the scale. Look for labels like warm white, cool white, or the brightest setting, daytime. And for the most flexibility, see if you can find bulbs that let you change the temperature according to your mood or time of day. A lot of people mistakenly think that LED lights are bright and blue and cool, but often it's just the design choice. The brighter, cooler aesthetic is popular now, but it's possible that warmer LEDs will come back in fashion. The city of Pittsburgh also used to have the orange sodium street lamps. Like many cities, Pittsburgh switched to LED. But listen to this. Their street lamps have been configured to produce a warm light at 2700 Kelvin, about the same as an incandescent light bulb. And the city is also dimming them between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. to reduce light pollution. So they've found a way to get the benefits of LED without that antiseptic blue light feel. That means there's hope yet for Chicago nostalgics like me. Maybe in the future, Chicago will configure the cold, bright LEDs to be a bit warmer and maybe not quite as strong, kind of like those old orange lamps of the past. That's all for us on this Plain English. Take a moment to think about the places you've started to see cooler LED lights. What kind of mood does it put you in? Are there any places in your life that have switched to a cooler light? Do you miss the warmer lights of the past? Think about that. This was episode 831, so the full lesson is at plainenglish.com/831. We will be back on Thursday with an expression. You'll learn what it means to have your work cut out for you. See you then. Listen up if you speak Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, or Turkish. One of the most frustrating things about listening and reading in a second language is being confused by unfamiliar words or phrases. When you listen to Plain English, or when you read the transcript, You probably encounter some words you don't know. When that happens, you have a few options. You can stop the audio, go look up the definition, then return to the episode, find your place, and press play again, but that's exhausting. Or you can just skip it and be confused. That's no fun either. But what if you could see the translation of the word into your language instantly without having to stop the audio, without having to look anything up? Well, you can at plainenglish.com. For each episode, we translate about 100 words and phrases from English to 9 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, and Turkish. And we highlight those words in blue. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the highlighted word and you'll see the translation instantly. It works great on mobile too. It really makes listening a lot more satisfying, and it's a great way to expand your vocabulary in English. The best way to see these translations is to sign up for a free 14-day trial at plainenglish.com. During your trial, you can read as many transcripts as you like, all with the translations into your language. So sign up for your free trial today at plainenglish.com.